พี่อู๊ดอ๋อพี่อู๊ดมาแล้วโอเคค่ะโอเค
Okay, so
let's
so we can
wait, just a moment let me ask คุณชานนท์ but it's okay we can start first ค่ะ
Okay, so today we will have Eve, also our product manager, to be with us and show the today's topics about the products.
Hello, I'm Eve. So let me share my screen. You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Okay, so thank you. I'm so glad to share with you the webinar. So here we have 3 topics. First one is the splenin, is a peptide, patented peptide, and it's another one is the plant-based surfactant. And at the end, we will have an overview of the oil-soluble peptides. So I hope this session will be valuable and engaged. So let's get started. So firstly, we'll dive deep. Okay, sorry. Okay. Oops, it's a little. Sorry. Oops. Oh. Sorry, there's some technical issues with my laptop. Okay. So, can you see my screen? No? Okay. I'm back. So, first we will dive deep into something we believe is truly a game changer in the advanced skincare, and that is a molecular is engineered precisely and uniquely targeted what we believe is the key to resetting the skin aging trajectory. That is the splenin. So here is the roadmap. So we'll start with why the pervasive inflammation crisis and the science behind it. And we will explore the how, the discovery of the splenin and the inspiration story of it. And then finally, we'll get into the validation, the proof. So we will have a comprehensive validation, including mechanism and efficacy. So let's get started. So you may say this, so our skin is under constant assault from the UV radiation, air pollution, to the long-term sleep deprivation and post-procedures. So these triggers are not causing an acute or a red or painful inflammation that we might think of. They are triggering the something chronic and low-grade inflammation. So you can't see it, but it exists. Just think it's like a silent fire that smoldering under the beneath. And this silent fire is what we call the inflammatory skin foundation. They are the agent accelerator. And the science is catching up. You may all seen the landmark paper in Cell that first proposed the 9 hallmarks of aging. And what we find fascinating is that the subsequent updates constantly added the chronic inflammation as its core hallmarks. So this means too much for our industry. So it tells us if we want to combat aging, we have to do something at its source. So this nets us to the molecular target, the c-Gas-STING. C-Gas-STING pathway is an innate immune pathway. That means it's the first line of our bodies to defense line to defense. And this theory is published by the Professor Chen's team. And the key highlights is the c-Gas will detect the aberrant DNA or the mislocalized DNA in the cell's cytoplasm, and it will set off an alarm. And this will associate with the DNA damage and chronic inflammation, and ultimately the aging. So this is the key target for decoding the DNA inflammation and the aging link. So let's look at this mechanism in more detail. So when damaged DNA is detected, the c-Gas bonds to it, and the c-Gas will catalyze the c-Gamp. C-Gamp is a second messenger. It will send the signal to the downstream protein, the STING. And we turn to this side. The STING acts like a signaling hub. So it will induce the conformational change and the activation of it. So I will pause here. Let's see the conformational change. So here is the inactive state. So when the c-Gas detects the aberrant DNA, and it will bind to it, and the c-Gamp will send a signal to the STING. So the state will turn to the active state. So if you see the shape is transition from the V shape to the U shape. So is here clear? Okay. So we're back to here. And next, after the activation of STING, the TBK1 is a kind of kinase, so it will phosphorylates the IRF3 and activates the NF-κB, what all of us know this switch. And so this is the mechanism of the gas STING. So what happens at the end? So it's a full-blown inflammatory cascade, and the cell starts to pumping out the pro-inflammatory cytokines, and it's like a whole host of other factors, and including that will break down the excellular matrix like the MMPS and IL-6 or IL-8, something like that. So this is a vicious cycle. More agent leads to more DNA damage, and which leads to more C-gas activation, and which leads to more inflammation. And this is this cycle. It's a little bit complicated, so I hope I'm clear here. Yeah. Is there any questions about the mechanisms? If not, we'll keep going. Okay. Let's continue. So this is not just a laboratory curiosity. We have data to prove it. So look at the chart on the right. So it's in new histochemical staining, and the staining, so look at when you compare the young group and the age group, the dark substance is the C-gas and the steam. So we find it's more darker at the aged group, and that means it dramatically regulate the steam and C-gas proteins in the older group. And it will also to accelerate the microcirculatory dysfunctions and also the vascular damage. So it's a whole process of the agent. So if C-gas steam is accelerator of agent, so we realized we need to do something. And here is the story of Splenin. It acts like a fire extinguisher. It will block the inflammatory cascade reaction at its source. So let's go. Yeah, let's go through the part 2. The discovery of the splenin, and this inspiration story comes from the snail mucin proteins. It's a very ancient but wisdom proteins. So you may very familiar with this platform, the network pharmacology intelligence platform. So it mapped out the landscape or the network of inflammation, and we find the C-gas is the central node of the inflammation response. So that's confirming we are targeting the right thing. And then the hard part. So what about the exact key? So here we built a library that is billions of molecular structures in there, and we screening the 7,360 compounds after the initial screening, and then the 352 compounds are selected, and then down to the 34 compounds, and finally there's only one structures left, that is splenin, and it's a tree peptide. It's a tree peptide with a YSL structure. So you're wondering how we end up with YSL structures. Here is the answers. So our R&D team conducted a comprehensive analysis, and we find the YSL fragment is embedded within the snail mucin proteins. So you see here. And yes, it's not random. It's not just a random discovery, because for the snail mucin, there's thousands of years of stories about it. So of its story, like for its repair abilities or the healing abilities. So we transferred this ancient wisdoms and into the modern science. So this is the structure of the splenin. And we got the patent. And yes, here is the validation of the mechanism. So we conduct docking validations of splenin. So on the left, you see here is so when it binds to the agonist, it will activate the C-gas sting. So it's an activate state. Is you see here is a U state. It's a U shape, and when it's bound to the splenin, it will turn off the switch. So it be the inactive state. So it's like the V shape. So that means it will turn down the so it will reduce the overreaction response. And here we will. So here's the procedures. We will see it very detailedly. So first is the inactive state. It's V shape, and we use the agonist, so it's opened. So it's from the open to closed, it's the U shape. So, and this means it's activated. And we use splenin, so inhibited this reaction, so it turns back to the V shape, turns back to the inactive state. So let's get into the validation part. So we have the mechanism validation and also the in vivo and the in vitro validation. So first we will see the in vitro. First, we find the splenin. We'll cut off the C-gas and the sting. So from the very source. So you see, so it will reduce the C-gas content and the sting content. And it will cut off the inflammation cascade from the upstream signal. Yeah. So here we view here the 25 ppm is close to the 2.5% splenin. And next, so we find splenin will reduce the NF-kappa and the TNF-alpha the expression. So very significantly result, and even better than the DEX, the positive group. And here we inhibited the MMP1 expression. MMP1 will degrade the collagen. So, and MMP1 is also a kind of the SASPS. So next, so for this one, we will promoted the collagen expression. Here is the type 17 collagen expression. It exists in the DEJ layers. So that means it will reinforce the basement membrane. And yeah, splenin also activate the skin repair. So so 3 steps. First, it promotes the cell migration. So we compare to the EGF. And second, it promotes the cell adhesion at different concentrations. And the last one, it enhances the cell viability. So this is our comprehensive activation of cellular repair. So yeah, in short, the splenin, so it can cut off the C-gas and the sting proteins and will reduce the NF-kappa B and the TNF-alpha's expression. And it will promote the collagen production for the anti-aging, and also it will promote the repair ability. So next part is the in vivo validations. So here we used a 10% Splenin solution, and yeah, there are 33 participants enrolled, and we tested skin elasticity. Let's see the result. First is the overall skin elasticity, the R2 value. So Splenin can significantly can improve the skin elasticity. And R7 is skin biological elasticity. So it also improves the R7. And for the trial 2, we tested the wrinkle length and the wrinkle area. Let's see its performance. So first is the wrinkle length. It's significantly down to reduce the wrinkle length and also the wrinkle area. And you see the volunteers imaging. It's a visible result. So let's do a quick summary. So Splenin, it is a tree peptide. It's a tree peptide 315, and it targets the inflammation at its source, and by blocking the C-gassing signaling, and it also downregulates the downstreams like the cytokines or SASPs. And it delivers multifunctional efficacies like anti-aging, soothing, and repair. And yeah, this one, because it's a solution, so it's compatible with the various formulations like serums, emulsions, etc. And this is a patented peptide. And here is the summary of in vitro and in vivo test. Yes, before we go to the next product, is there anything unclear?
Yes, I have the one question. Let me back to the clinical trial 1.
Okay.
Yes. For the result, the next slide. This one I can I ask about the peptide complex. How amount of the peptide that you use in the peptide complex to compare with the splenin?
Okay, that's a good question. We can back to here because here there's a note. The peptide complex is a palmitoid tripeptide and the tetrapeptide. So it's a 2 peptides combination. Yes. It's
Can you tell us the
the benchmark, the matrix 3000s.
Okay, got it. And back to the result that compare with the before this and
This one?
no, before.
Okay.
In
vitro? You mean in vitro part?
Yes.
Okay.
That compare with EGF.
Yeah. EGF. This one?
Yes. Can you explain about the difference of the efficacy again?
Efficacy again?
Yes. Between EGF and splenin. How is different about the result?
is, you know, because EGF is a good growth factor, but it's not allowed it in an MNP in China's regulatory. Is that allowed? Can you use the EGF in formulations in Thailand?
Cannot use it.
Mhm.
Not allowed in Thai FDA.
Okay. So, for this one, because you know like UVB or environmental, the toxins, they will damage the DNA, and that will affect the DNA's like the cells viability or the cells state. So for this part, we validate that the splenin can help the cell to keep its viability, and also it can promote the cell migration and proliferation. So it can do the repair the cell damage. And EGF is is usually used as a positive group in the in vitro test, but this one is not allowed in the cosmetic regulatory. So yeah, we can't claim it.
Okay,
But when you compare this result, so it's the performance of splenin is comparable to the EGF.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I hope everything is clear. Then we move to the next part. So this one, is I'm so excited to introduce you the Camellia Saponin, because it's a ingredient that embodies the perfect ancient wisdom and the modern green chemistry. And in key is the Camellia oleifera seed extract. It's a powder. It's a pure powder. Yeah, you know, the global beauty is undergoing a paradigm shift. So the customers, they are not just buying products, they are investing values. So the market there is shouting for the green beauty, but the challenge is to find a solution that are both authentic and efficacious. So according to the data, the recent data that 73% of consumers are willing to pay premium for the pure and traceable and sustainable beauty. But however, the industry has real pain points. The traditional chemical surfactants like SLS and SLES, they are under the increasing doubts about its environmental impact and potential impurities, and also the skin irritation concerns. So at the same time, the some very major alliance, they are demanding full transparency and the traceability. So here is the questions. What is the what if so we are asking ourselves how to find a solution that can work across the entire process and production cycle, from the raw material to use and to the finished products. So that's to our products. but yeah, we will talk about the alliance before. So you see this slide, the main bodies like Eco Beauty School, Consortium, and the chassis that led to the Chanel. So they are the major bodies that they underscores the transparency and the traceability. So that means everything from the raw materials to production and the use and disposal is under assessed. So our industries is facing a very crucial crossroad. So we have to find a solution. So now for the surfactants, there are major two paths. The first path is the fossil-based surfactants. So but both of the paths, they have drawbacks. So we look at the first path, the fossil-based surfactants first. The drawbacks are well documented because it's fossil-based and it's non-renewable, and it has extremely high carbon footprint, and the process are involved very high temperature and chemical modifications. So that is and during the process, it will generate the harmful byproducts like dioxins. And also it's regarding the skin benefits. So it will damage the skin barrier. And also the toxins will against the environmental regulations. And for the second path is plant-based chemical surfactants like APG, betanes, and sodium acids. Yes, so it's quite depend on the cash crops because which is linked to the deforestation. That's violating the EU zero deforestation law, and also it requires the high temperature and chemical modification. So it seems like green at the surface, but it's not. And yeah, it has no auxiliary skin benefits like the moisturizing and soothing, only the cleansing. So the industry is screaming for the third pollution. That's led us to our product, the Camellia Saponin. It's a next generation plant to derive the surfactant, but to truly understand it, we have to know the unique story. So here you see, this is the proposition, the cycle, this recycled proposition of Camellia Saponin. So first is circular economy because it's not a new cultivated plant. It's from the camellia meal byproduct, and for this plant we cultivate for thousands of years, and there's no land use competition. And second part is it delivers it delivers the cleansing and skin barrier at the same time. And it can maintain the supply chain. The supply chain is stable because it has over 1 million tons a new annually available. So it's very scalable and sustainable. So not like the palm or coconut oil that will facing the shortage risk. So we are very sustainable. And last but very important is we are the plant derived, no chemical modification, and it's totally biodegradable and no toxicity. And we got the Cosmos approved. So here is the comparison with the conventional surfactants. So look across rows, we find the traditional surfactants, they highly rely on the source, like no matter the fossil or coconut oil or the palm oil. And their manufacturing process involved very high heat and chemical modifications. And yeah, they may foam very well, but they has no benefits to skin. And yeah, to some extent, they has some irritations. But look at our Camellia Saponin. So it's a totally renewable raw material resource. It's from the camellia meal. And we applied a very sustainable and green process. That is the physical low temperature water extraction and membrane separation. And it's low irritation, and at the same time, it delivers the pleasant skincare benefits like soothing and moisturizing. So here's the soul of the Camellia Saponin. So yes. So the very earliest records of camellia cultivation and utilizations can be traced back to the Tang Dynasty. That is around 1,400 years ago, and by the Ming Dynasty, that's around 450 years ago. So Li Shizhen is a very famous physician. He documented the camellia seed kernel to wash clothes or remove grease. So we are not invent these products. So we just rediscovered from the Eastern wisdom. For the camellia seed cake, so it has a long history of applications. So it has the traditional medicine usage, like to relieve the dampness, kill the parasites, and treat the eczema. And also it can be used for the daily household, like washing and laundry or bathing. And also it can be used in the textile, pharmaceuticals, and the daily chemicals. So let's look at the secret. So here is the structure of the Camellia Saponin. It's a pentacyclic triterpenoid sapling, and it's a nature non-ionic surfactant. And the structures give it superb abilities of emulsifying and cleansing. And this ingredient is derived from the camellia seed meal, and it's a byproduct of the camellia oil pressing. So here is our process. So it's a totally physical extraction and membrane separation, and it through this innovation process. So we find there are several benefits. The first is the whole process is zero chemical modification, no organic solvent residue, and also it highly preserves the natural structure and bioactivity. And the result is we have the light color and odorless the ingredient. And here is the in-process view. So we're ensure that the whole process is transparent and no impurity. And yeah. So this slide will give you a visualized picture of the whole from the orchard to the finished product journey. So here is the one. So we start with 1,000 kilograms camellia fresh fruit. After drying and shelling, we have the sapling. So it's 1,000 kg to 100 and 200, 120 kg. And finally, we have the 35 kg Camellia Saponin, because in traditional industry, these Camellia seed cake meal will treated as a waste, but we upcycled it, and even the residue we used it for the fertilizers, and also used for the camellia plantations. So the whole process is a full closed loop and is zero waste. So here is the secret in the ingredient. So we have the 38% sapling that delivers the emulsifying capabilities, and also we have 32 polysaccharides. Polysaccharides is a good moisturizers, and yes, it explains why our products can also deliver the soothing and the moisturizing efficacy. So for the other traditional surfactants, they don't have this. So here's the certificate of the Cosmos. So let's move towards to the performance. So safety is the paramount. So first, we conducted a hands egg test. That is a standard for the ocular irritation, and the result shows there's no irritation for the for this ingredient under the concentration 0.5 concentration. And yes, here is the visual proof. Next, we conducted 31 volunteers to test the human repeated insult patch test, and all the result is negative. So it shows no irritation and no sensitization. And next is the performance of it emulsifying and the forming abilities. So for this test, we compound with the traditional surfactants, like you see here, the SLS, CAPB. So all of this under a fixed concentration is 0.5%, and compound with our 0.5 Camellia Saponin. So what's the performance? What's the result? Look at the rows. We found out when you combine the sapolins, it will increase the foam volumes. So that means the sapolins can be used together, and it will work in synergy with the traditional surfactants, and will improve their forming performance. Next is another forming performance ability calculations. We compared with another plant-based surfactants. Here is the Sapindus mucorosy extract. That is the salt berry. So it's commonly called the salt berry. And another one is the gladitious and the senescence. It's called Chinese honey locust. So these two are very famous plant-based surfactants in the market. So we compared with it to see their forming performance. So here you see stands for the camellia seed meal extract is our products. So is superior to the rest of the plant-based surfactant. And also we compare the synergy effect, and it shows out camellia seed meal extract and the soap berry works better than the And here is the we down to pass to see the form longevity. First is the Camellia Saponin at 5 different concentrations from 0.1 to the 2% concentrations, and this is without the polyrol. So we find it can make the higher concentration and the denser and the fluffier the foam, and it can stay 3 minutes and 10 minutes. So that explains it can maintain the foam's longevity. And here is another. The second system is the so we use the 10% butanediol. So it's a kind of a polyrol. So here we find with the butanediol, so we find the denser and fluffier foam than the previous test. And it's also the result is consistent because the foams can stand for 3 minutes and the 10 minutes. And here is another test. So we find very interesting that the Camellia Saponin can against the hot water. So it shows the hot water resistance. So here you find at different concentrations, so it shows the resistance to hot water and soft water. So this is soft water and this is hot water. Yes, the tendency is it's same. Yes, so as we mentioned before, the Camellia Saponin can deliver skin benefits. So here it is. So first, it will promote the aqua P3 content expression. You know, aqua P3 is a water channel protein, so it can deliver the moisturizing benefits. So at 200 ppm, the products can promote it to deliver the moisturizing effect. And the second is the hyaluronic acid. This is a good one for moisturizing as well. And it's also delivered the soothing benefits. So it can reduce the TNF-alpha, IL-6, and NF-kappa B expression at a different concentration. And this one is the oil control. So for this one, we compared with the Synvestins. So this one is a very good oil control things. So we find we can achieve a comparable oil control performance with to the Synvestins, but with at the higher concentrations, the performance is very significant. So here's the summary, the ID card of Camellia Saponin. So this is the inky, and it's a totally powder form. You can see here, and it's totally water soluble and organic solvent free, residue free, and preserve free products. And we recommend 0.1 to 3% usage level. So there's a various of applications from skincare to the hair care, and it's compatible to various formulas. Like here is the formulations recommendations. So the first one is a cleansing powder, and this is a playability formulations. And this is the information. So and this is the shampoo. It's a rinse off. And yeah, are the key lines of our products, Camellia Saponin. So, it's a 100 bio-based, and it's a new renewable raw materials, and the whole process is green and sustainable, and it delivers not only the emulsifying capabilities but also the skin benefits. And yeah, it's a powder form, so, and water soluble, so you can use it very easily. So at the end, I will mention another products from the Camellia family. So we have the Camellia Splenin. It's a star products of Winky, and Camellia seed oil, and this one. So all of these three products, they are come from the upcycling process. So yes. So this is our Camellia series products. So before we wrap up, is there any questions? Hello?
No. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there any questions or anything unclear?
Okay, I think I think we don't have question at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But if we have question, we will send you guys email.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Then we'll go to the last part, the oil soluble peptides. Yes, so I will briefly introduce this product family. So we developed 6 stars oil soluble peptides. So across different efficacy. So we have the M3000s, it's for the anti-wrinkle and erasing, and Argin 500. And we also have the soothing peptide, the oil soluble peptides. So yeah, all of this, so we're still actively to exploring and refining the full positioning and unique selling point for this category. So yes, so now all we know is it's oil soluble and highly targeted because it's peptide and backed by the peptide science. So yes, that's the end of the presentation. So yeah, I know you because Alicia, she told us that you interested in the oil soluble peptide. So here is because the time constraint. So here is just a short overview. So
Yeah, I think this page is perfect for us. So because it gives us like a one complete, how to say, like differentiate of each product. So I guess like this one is very good lah.
okay, thank you for your feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the presentation for the session today, is there any other questions?
มีคำถามอะไรไหมคะ
Not yet, but our presentation for today and document for the oil peptide. Could you please send us to by email?
Of course. So you mean this page, the information?
The information of
Okay.
each
น้อง you
anyone.
mean the presentation today, right?
Yeah, we'll send you.
วันนี้แล้วก็ข้อมูลเอกสารของตรงนี้ทั้งหมดอะค่ะพี่เอมที่มันเป็น oil soluble peptide
อ๋ออันนี้เราก่อนหน้านี้เราขอไปแล้วไหมหรือว่าเรายังไม่ได้ขอ
จะไม่ได้มีเอกสารครบค่ะ
อ๋อแล้วเรายังขาดอันไหนโอเคso our team need further information about each of the oil soluble product
Each oil,
Is that all document of oil soluble peptide that you show in this slide?
so 6 of it so we need 6 of this right Lin
Yes.
or we need more than this
ค่ะก็ปกติที่เขาส่งมามันจะเป็นพวก presentation หรือว่า TDS ค่ะ MSDS spec อย่างเงี้ยค่ะเอาไว้ให้ลูกค้าดู
อ๋อ you mean the
Okay.
MSDS spec
Okay.
And the presentation and the information about the Camellia Saponin too, because I will promote it into our customer who is currently use the Camellia Squalene. Camellia Saponin.
Camellia. Okay.
Could you present the presentation and available information?
You mean this part?
Yes, by each.
Yes, we can send you the whole presentation.
okay
So yeah, we have the description and the detail formula. So we can share with you because the time constraint, so we didn't go through it very detailedly.
it's okay
Okay. That's a good questions. So we know the oil soluble peptides has a higher concentration than water soluble. So for the recommended usage, it may be a little bit lower. So yeah, that is one of the advantages of this oil soluble series. Yeah, I will keep in mind. My mind. So I will check if we highlight it. So if don't, we can add it to it. Okay. Thank you for suggestions. So okay. So any questions? Thank you. So far so good. So that's all.
that's
So
all I
far, no
think
question.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for joining us today. Okay,
Okay.
have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Okay.
okay
Happy Friday. Bye-bye.
Thank you bye bye
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.